So, a very good afternoon to all of you. Once again, I am bringing you the lecture on inverters, continuing the square wave inverters having RL load. The load is of RL nature. Just have a look at this. The Zn has been calculated earlier to be under root R square plus n omega naught L square. This will be valid for any kind of load. Yes, if you are having a pure resistive load, then you have to make this L. The value of L in this expression will be 0. Then Zn will become automatically R. When we are dealing with purely inductive load, then we will do simply one thing. We will make this R 0. So we will be left with only n omega naught L term. Okay, we can also do one more thing. If we are consisting of a load which is having inductor as well as a capacitor, then what we will do, we will keep R as it is. Instead of n omega naught L, we will put n omega naught L minus 1 upon n omega naught C, and then we will get the value of Zn. So it's quite easy and simple to implement. Now coming back to Z1, how we can get Z1? Z1 can be obtained by replacing n in the expression of Zn by 1. That's quite simple. Just by mere observation, it can be concluded that when we put n equals to 1 here, then this whole expression will become R square plus omega naught L the whole square. This is Z1. Now coming back to the fundamental expression of fundamental current component. It can be easily observed from this part that it is I01 equals to I01 max sine omega naught t minus phi, where phi is tan inverse omega L by R. That is quite easily visible here. Phi equals to tan inverse omega by L by R. What this phi is, I had already discussed that phi corresponds to the gap, the phase gap that is there. So we can easily get the expression of I01 as I01 max sine omega naught t minus phi. This is quite easy to implement I01. Now, what will be the value of the component of fundamental output current that will be passing through diode? It can be easily observed that in the entire waveform of output current, we can conclude that there are separate regions in which D1, S1, D2 and S2 will conduct. For example, in this case, from 0 to phi, it can be concluded that D1 will conduct. In this case, from phi to pi plus phi, it can be concluded that till pi, S1 will conduct, and after that D2 will conduct. So, the expression of fundamental current will be, fundamental output current passing through diode will be I01 max sine omega naught t minus phi the whole square d theta. The phi is varying from 0 to phi, 1 upon 2 pi. What is this 1 upon 2 pi? 1 upon 2 pi is nothing, simply nothing but the phase angle, the total phase angle or the total angular time period of this fundamental wave. So we can easily get the expression of RMS current di D01 RMS. Okay. No, the RMS component of current passing through diode. Now, let's have a look at this derivation, which is very important. This is the formula for ID01 RMS 1 upon 2 pi 0 to phi I01 max square sine square d theta. Now, what we will do is that we will replace this theta minus pi by P. So d theta becomes dP. Because this is that d theta becomes dP. So now we are having d theta equals to dP. So the limits of P will change. What will be the limits of P? One will be minus 5, another will be 0. 0 minus 5 gives you minus 5, another will be 0. So we can easily observe from this part that the integration limits have changed. They are varying from I naught 1 max square upon 2 pi. Okay, and the limits are minus 5 to 0 sin square p dp. Now we will be using the basic trigonometry. The basic trigonometry simply says that the sin p will be expressed in terms of cos of 2p, cos of twice of the earlier argument. So I naught 1 max the whole square divided by 2 pi, integrating it from minus p 5 to 0. By solving this expression and putting the desired result, we will getting the expression of I d naught 1. You can easily see the expression of I naught 1, I d naught 1 is coming out to be I naught 1 max square 2 pi 5 by 2 minus sin 2 phi by 4. And then we have to take the square root of this entire expression. Why the square root is important? Because simply it is, we are talking about the RMS component of fundamental output current, not the average current. This is the RMS current, fundamental RMS current expression. Now somebody asks you that what will be the fundamental power that will be delivered by our inverter across the entire load. How? What will be the fundamental power? What? So this is quite easy to calculate. If we are calculating about that thing, then it is quite easy to calculate. That we will simply calculate the fundamental power by putting the fundamental RMS value of current. The fundamental RMS value of the current will be 4 VDC by pi by root 2. That we can easily calculate by using the Fourier expression. Then we can get the fundamental value of output RMS current, it is I naught 1 RMS, and then we can easily calculate the phi, the angle phi between V naught 1 RMS and I naught 1 RMS. Okay, so this is what was required, and simply by putting the value of cos of phi we can get the value of fundamental power across load. Now one more thing that is very important to understand, and that is that some people are facing difficulty regarding the integration. So I will shed some light to the integration part once more. Just have a look at this. When we are keeping the limits from 0 to minus phi, be very particular that this 2 phi, this is not 2 phi, this is 2p, and then it will be replaced by the phi component. Okay, and I think from this part it is quite clear. Okay, now I am straight away moving to the one of the numericals. That's quite easy to understand. In this numerical, the R is given, L is given, frequency is given, VDC value is given. We have to calculate that for how much duration load is delivering power to source. First of all, have a look at this whole scenario of phi. Okay, then load is delivering power to source, means the power will be of negative nature. Yes, come to this waveform. The power should have negative nature, and the power will be negative when voltage and current both are of opposite sign. So the power will be fed back to the source when voltage is positive, current is negative. I think this is quite clear to all of you. Once again, for this duration of phi, the voltage is positive, the current is negative. Voltage is negative, current is positive. So in these two durations, the duration of this phi and pi to pi plus phi, the power will be sent back to the source. Yes, the load will be sending back to the source. So this is the duration that is there to be required to be calculated. So simply we will put omega t equals to 2 pi, and we will get that value of t by doing 2 pi by omega, and this is the desired answer that we will get simply. Okay, that the answer can be given in the form of phi also, or in the form of time also, depends on our choice. So thanks all of you for being with me during this entire lecture. Thank you.